wrestler Vinesh Phogat's charge against the Wrestling Federation of India. Wrestler Vinesh Phogat's attempted comeback to competitive wrestling has been met by the Great Wall of the Wrestling Federation of India. The sportsperson's attempt to try to find a spot in the Asian Games 2026 selection trials and other competitions has been nipped in the bud, with the Wrestling Federation of India barring her from taking part in domestic events that are qualifiers for the international tournaments. The Wrestling Federation of India has issued a detailed 15-page show cause notice to the wrestler on May 9th, declaring her ineligible for the events till June 26 of 2026. Vinesh had planned her return to wrestling in the new 57 kg category. However, a new eligibility criteria for Asian Games, which favors recent medalists, has sidelined her. Vinesh Phogat has also alleged non-responsiveness from the Wrestling Federation of India officials and registration hurdles when she tried to come out of quote-unquote retirement. Vinesh Phogat's supporters claimed that the wrestler was being targeted because she had protested against the former Wrestling Federation of India leadership. In fact, WFI has claimed that they were only highlighting the fact that Vinesh did not meet the criteria set for those returning from a sabbatical and that there were broader disciplinary issues. I'm being joined at this point by Sunita Godara, who's an Asian marathon champion for 1992. I'm also being joined by Neeru Bhatia, who's a senior sports journalist. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining me. Well, Sunita Godara, let's just start straight with you because, you know, for a lay person, getting through this, understanding the back and forth can get very complex. But the Wrestling Federation of India is saying, listen, you did not, in fact, you is saying Vinesh missed the out-of-competition championships tests. And the Wrestling Federation of India says that amounts to violating the anti-doping rules, as it were. The Wrestling Federation of India going on to make some very serious allegations against Vinesh, also saying that she has caused nothing but a national embarrassment. How much of this is true, Sunita Godara?
See, what you said in the beginning, that it is all a blame game because Vinesh Phogat raised her voice against the molestation or harassment to the female athletes in wrestling federation game. So that was the trigger point. Now the federation is will try to crush her as long as the federation is a baby of the person who was they have a court case going on against the person. So if the person is still owning the federation, then with Phogat, these things will happen. This is obvious because federations always curb the athlete if the athlete is raising voice against any wrongdoing of the federation. I know it very well because when we were fighting against doping in sports, that time federation was supposed to give punishment to the doped athletes or the positive athletes, and they were not. They were doing favor to some athletes and they were giving punishment to few. So that time I also faced many things like my Arjuna award was crushed, my Dhyan Chand award was crushed. So these things happen in federation, you know. Federation is only for those people who are saying yes sir to them all the time.
If that's what you are saying, but rules are also rules. You know,
Yes.
the federation would say that, you know, these are the rules that you have to follow. Neeru Bhatia come in at this point. What would you make out of what the Wrestling Federation of India and what Vinesh Phogat is saying?
Well, I'll be very clear that this is the Wrestling Federation of India and, backed by its former president, Brijbhushan Sharan Singh, who's a very big, strong man. Their way of just trying to cut Vinesh Phogat to size simply because she raised her voice against him and the federation.
Yes.
If you remember, she and her husband they'd all gone in protest and on a fast uh, against him, and it was a very, very massive issue. But they haven't forgotten that, and her bid to make a comeback, they're going to make it very difficult, almost impossible for her to come back. I can tell you right now, and she's absolutely in the right place to compete. There is, I mean, other than it's a national championship. If there is no reason why she can be stopped from competing. So, but this whole dope issue is just being used to stop her in her steps to make a comeback.
Okay, let me say something. See, rules
Go
are
ahead.
okay. She has not done some few competitions, the trial competitions, or she was not in the whereabouts of athletes. But she's coming back after 2 years, and she's not any Tom, Dick, and Harry. She is an Olympian, medalist, Commonwealth medalist, and she is a well-known, you can say, star of wrestling. And we have seen her fight in the Olympics, which was, it was a sure medal for her only because of her 100 grams weight. She missed out. But now she's coming back in the 57 kg. That time she
No,
was
no.
in
Here,
51
while
kg.
you're making this point, I think let me just come in because the Wrestling Federation of India has raised that all over again. Wrestling Federation of India, while making its statement, has said she voluntarily dropped her weight, caused a huge national embarrassment. Neeru Bhatia, this had of course become a huge point of contention, a huge national debate. I don't want to revisit that debate. But here's Vinesh Phogat saying that this isn't about Paris Olympics. This is about a current event that she wants to be part of. Now, Vinesh Phogat is also making an allegation that she gave them a 5-month notice, but they did not act. How much of that is true? Would you know about it? Would you know about it procedurally?
Well, I'll be very honest. This is a direct one-on-one fight between Vinesh and the federation bosses, and of course, they will make it very difficult, almost nearly impossible for her to make a comeback. And they're doing everything to put, roadblocks on the way in an effort. I think it's praiseworthy that she's trying to make a comeback at this stage. Trying to take another shot at a medal, be it at the Asian Games, be it at Commonwealth Games. But she has to make a start if she's making come back to competitive boxing, wrestling. And where does she start? She has to start at the nationals, and it's just ego. That's all. And as far as I mean, she gave time. She informed them in advance, but they didn't respond. They think that they can get away with it. They can strong arm everything and do, and they don't like athletes to take them on. Let's be very honest.
Well, Sunita Godara, to what Neeru Bhatia has just said, they don't like athletes taking them on. You have had an experience of taking federations on in the past as well. I mean, here's the very big question. And this is what I'm trying to understand again. A lot has happened between the Wrestling Federation of India and Vinesh Phogat. And then you have Vinesh Phogat making a comeback. How much of this would you want to give as a benefit of doubt for red tapeism?
See, this is not if we had ethics commission in place, then the ethics commission rules are worldwide. It is international norm that anybody who has got this type of allegations, sexual harassment and all that, that person should not be in the sports arena. Whereas because there is no proper ethics commission, world level, world class ethics commission in India, so still the same bosses are there. The federation is run by the same people who
Yes.
had allegations, and the court case is still pending. So they will not like Vinesh Phogat to come back because they know that she is a medal prospect. First of all, she is a medal prospect, and now she's coming in her actual weight. That time she did some changes, but she failed. So they don't want Vinesh Phogat to get into the boxing, this federation wrestling arena and fight it out. Whereas what they should have done, okay, let her fight, and the other girls can beat her, then it's okay. But they are scared because she is a very, very strong wrestler, and they just want to crush her. That's it.
Okay. So
because there is no rules,
here's
in
where I want to
sports.
come.
I
Neeru Bhatia.
also want to
No,
make
Neeru
a
Bhatia,
point.
1 minute. I want to ask you a question. Now, these are allegations, perceptions, facts, however people want to put it. These are what's coming out. And, Sunita Godara, for all that she is, she's been India's pride. She has represented India. She has earned laurels for India. A question I want to ask you, Neeru Bhatia, is how does this go forward? Because if at all this is mired in a manner in which you all are alleging, if at all Wrestling Federation of India is acting in the way that you all are saying it is, for what Vinesh Phogat is claiming, who's going to check Wrestling Federation of India? Does India have inbuilt systems to check the Wrestling Federation of India? Why?
No, see, we don't have that kind of a system in place. See, as per the rules, as per the recognition of the sports rules of the sports ministry and the recognition, all federations are autonomous bodies. The ministry does not interfere in their running, and selection is there. The is the onus of and the right of the federation. So the ministry does not interfere in that. So there's nobody to put a check or a balance as long as the federation is playing by the rules saying that, oh, we do have a selection committee as per the ministry guidelines. So these are the people, and if these are the people who won in the various weight categories at the national championships and can represent India. And this is it. But that's what's happening. They are trying to stop her even from competing at the basic national level. And I don't know. This is the frustration of it all. Here's an athlete who's trying to make a comeback, who thinks she still has a shot at glory, who thinks she can still win a medal. She still has the ability, and you're not giving her the chance. I mean, how long will Indian sports be mired in this kind of petty, egoistical issues? We'll never move ahead at that sense. We will never win medals then at this rate.
Sunita Godara, after the athletes, they went out, they made these massive protests. There was a lot of churn within the Wrestling Federation of India as well. Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh had to step down. There was a committee that was set up. There was an interim committee. Then there was another committee that actually became the governing body for the Wrestling Federation of India. So there was a whole lot of churn. Are you saying all of that has come to naught?
Eyewash, all eyewash. You can see in your pictures only, you are showing he is still there, owning the federation, bossing the federation. So this is all an eyewash. Actually, government, okay, these NGOs are all autonomous bodies, but government can always monitor them. They should have one ethics commission with strong people who can take strong actions against the federations who are doing wrongdoings with the athletes also. Actually, all the federation, barring one or two, they treat the athletes like a guinea pigs. And as long as they don't treat them like products, that they are getting medals, that's why the federations are there, they are getting name and fame, nothing will happen. Secondly, we are getting very bad name worldwide because of these things. Now again it has come up this time because of the different reason. Earlier, because the girls were protesting. Now it is those girls are not allowed to play. So these things are going on, and the news is going to the international arena, and we are trying to bid for the Olympics. How is it possible? The whole world, the sports arena is watching us. What is happening in India? These things can be controlled by government, sports ministry. Easily it can be controlled.
Right.
In fact, they did it with hockey. Hockey. They banned hockey, then they put some...
Ma'am, just give me a minute. We've just got a reaction from Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. Let's just listen in.
मेरे लिए ये जो रायता फैला करके गए हैं देवी जी, हम उसी को निपट रहे हैं इस समय कोर्ट में, और वहाँ कुश्ती चल रही है, और कुश्ती कहाँ होगी कहाँ नहीं होगी ये मेरा विषय नहीं है। ये विषय वर्तमान में जो WFI है या भारतीय कुश्ती संघ है, ये उनका विषय है कि कहाँ होगी कहाँ नहीं होगी, कौन खेलेगा कौन नहीं खेलेगा। लेकिन चूंकि मैं भारतीय कुश्ती संघ का बहुत दिनों तक अध्यक्ष रह चुका हूँ, इसलिए अपने अनुभव के आधार पर कहता हूँ कि WFI कभी भी किसी खिलाड़ी को खेलने से नहीं रोकती, क्योंकि WFI खिलाड़ियों के लिए ही बनी है। अगर किसी को रोका गया होगा तो उसका कारण भी बताया गया होगा, और वो कारण आप भी जानती होंगी, तो उसको पढ़ लीजिए।
Neeru Bhatia, how do you respond to that? Raita फैला के गई है.
This is all hogwash. You know, everybody knows how the former president called the shots at how he ran the federation. Everybody knows that he was asked to step aside till the things were cleaned up and the players protested. Everybody knows that the people who are in power now in the Wrestling Federation have the backing of this person. So that's all a hogwash. Okay. And if it was, I don't understand why can't Indian sports administrators realize or accept that if there is a chance of your athlete, any athlete, to get a medal for you, you have to go all out to support him or her.
Does that mean
And
bending
Vinesh has
the
always
rules?
been a special talent.
Does that mean bending the rules? You know why I'm
And if
asking?
she doesn't, no, if she doesn't win internationals, if she doesn't qualify, fair enough. But if she does and she can go all the way, why not?
You know, Sunita Godara, to what Neeru Bhatia is saying, but then where does that end? You bend the rule for one person and you keep the rules for others. That itself becomes discriminatory of sorts. And I'm asking a very straight question. Rules are rules. Of course, India is a country where rules are bent according to whims and fancies. That's a very different...
Now you got the...
No, but you know, we can't argue for that to happen. We can't argue for that to happen, even if you would want Vinesh to contest and do what it is. I think the point is what Vinesh is arguing. 5 months, they did not act. That's one part of it. But very interestingly, you have Wrestling Federation of India president who has now reacted. Sanjay Singh has gone on to say that this will not be the end of the road for Vinesh Phogat. Let her write, let her file her statement, and we will look into it. There will be a committee which will be formed. Whatever the committee says will be done. How do you look at that?
See, all this is, I tell you, eyewash and time pass. Harassing the girl. You know, she is not any normal athlete. She is an Olympian, medalist, brought glory for the country so many times. You know, but Federation does it. I tell you, there is something called wild entries for Asian champions, Commonwealth champions, and the world champions. I myself got this when I won the Asian marathon in 1992. 1996, when there was another Asian marathon, Federation did not select me because that year I was second in one of the national marathon. So the first one was sent. But I got wild entry from the Asian Federation to run the same Asian Marathon Championship. Unfortunately, I was not representing India, but I had wild entry. I was there and I beat that girl who was selected by Federation, and from the Asian Federation, this Indian Federation got memo. And this will happen here also if Vinesh Phogat goes to the international committee. Then they will also get memo. Why she is not allowed? Okay, rule says that she has to compete in this competition, that competition, but she is not a normal athlete. She is an Olympian. She is
I don't know how much of that can be taken as a ground. You know, I mean, how much of that really can be taken as a ground for allowing her?
No, listen. Sorry, ma'am, carry on.
Go ahead, Neeru Bhatia. She's made a point. Go ahead, make your point.
No, what I'm trying to say is, see, look at the pathetic state of affairs in sports. Here's a Olympian who's trying to make a comeback, who's trying to compete in a normal fair and square way and see if can go all the way and win medals for India. And you have to go to the former president of the federation, and then he's saying, and they're saying that she has to give in detail in writing, etc., etc. I mean, it's not the time for her to waste on writing and giving explanations. Yeah, this is the time to train, to go for coaching, go for competitions, and get sharp enough to play where it matters and qualify for the bigger events. I mean, this is how shambolic sometimes sports federations are in India.
Now,
Prime
Neeru
example.
Bhatia, here's the question that I want to ask you. My last question to you. What would you say the Wrestling Federation of India needs to be doing at this time? Obviously, they're not going to roll a red carpet for Vinesh Phogat. That's a given. And even if they do that, that's going to become, again, hugely controversial. So, professionally speaking, as a gatekeeper of sports, what should the Wrestling Federation of India really be doing?
Simple. Just let her allow to compete in the national championships. And if she wins, fine. If she doesn't win, fine. That's all. Settles the matter. And if she wins the national championship, then she goes into the national camp. She gets exposure to training and competition in events and prepares for the bigger events like Commonwealth Games and Asian Games this year. Those are more important for us.
Sunita Godara, I mean, this is hugely layered. You have politics, you have sexual abuse, harassment, allegations of whole of that. There's sports. It's a very complex, layered issue. How does the Wrestling Federation of India maneuver through this?
In this scenario, the present scenario, Federation will not do anything. She would like to crush this girl, Vinesh Phogat. So now only the ball is in now Sports Ministry's court, because they can take action, they can give directions, they cannot interfere, but all they are watching what is happening, and it is bad for the country. So in the country's interest of, they are bidding for Asian championship, they are bidding for Asian Games, they are bidding for Commonwealth is happening, and all these things happening in India. So they can take action, they can advise this federation is not something which cannot be controlled. But if our administration wants, something can be done. And secondly, what Neeru is saying, very correct, let her compete.
Right. I think a lot of unanswered questions, but a whole lot of questions only emerging now. We'll have to see how this really pans out, because at the end of the day, it's not just about credibility. It's about India. It's about India's sporting talent. It's, of course, about how not just wrestlers treat the country. It's also about how India treats its wrestlers. Thank you so much for joining us, Sunita Godara, as well as Neeru Bhatia. Thank you so much.